Good morning, everybody. I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. It's approximately 6 a.m. Wednesday, and I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I got an early start today. I guess that's a symptom of waking up at 4:30, 5:30 in the morning the day before. But I promise you I got a good night's sleep. So I'm going to have myself a nice breakfast after I'm done with this discussion. And I want to say thank you to my viewers, my subscribers, and my eBay customers. You are all awesome. If you want to help support the channel, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications. Also, if you want to help out a small business owner, check out my eBay store, the Carolina Collector 001. The link is in the description box below, where I'm selling loose sports cards, graded slabs, and from time to time some various other items. Thank you to all of you that have done so already. Your most recent orders have gone out as of yesterday, so you should see them in transit hopefully soon. And that's what we're going to be discussing today. So this is almost a follow-up video, almost beat for beat, for what I discussed yesterday. As you know, unfortunately, in the sports card hobby in particular, that there are all sorts of motherfuckers out there that are scam artists, that'll try to extort you for your feedbacks if you don't bow down to their whims and their commands. You know, they think that you're going to wave a magic wand and all of a sudden their item is going to show up the next day. Well, that doesn't happen realistically. You have people out there that really don't know how to speak. They don't know how to negotiate. You know, this is one of the reasons why I became an LLC, to protect myself, a limited liability company, which means there's certain legal things that I can put to use to protect my business because, you know, of potential, you know, lunacy like this. You know, and I can see the writing on the wall based on a lot of the language that's in what I'm about to show you. So, this is the name of the eBayer that we're going to be discussing today. JDJ Found Treasures. Of course, I have receipts, folks. You always got to have receipts. So this person has a 99.6% positive feedback, which is, you know, I have, I believe 99.7 because of the two idiots that tried to extort me for free cards, right? So this person has 238 followers. They've sold over 7,000 items. So they've been around for a little bit, you know, like with myself. And one of the cards that was purchased off of me was this card right here. A 2024 Topps Chrome Major League Baseball number RA-LB Lukenbaker rookie card autograph. So that's the item right there that they purchased off me for $299 plus $125 shipping. So to their defense, when you actually look at the most recent screen capture that I have here, it stops at Monday, March 3rd at 11:31 a.m. at St. Louis, Missouri. So you can see where it stops right there. This is the most recent screen capture I have. But the thing is in transit. So, well, actually, here's a full screen capture right there so you can actually see it from when it was shipped from my home to the person. And when you actually dive into this particular card, forgive me here, when you dive into the particular card, when you actually look at eBay's estimate, I actually blew it up for everybody to see because I sent this with a red circle around it. It clearly shows Saturday, March 22nd to Thursday, March 27th. That has nothing to do with me. That's the post office. That is their estimated delivery time for this particular order. And that's going to be relevant. As a matter of fact, let me see here. I'm usually a little bit more organized than this, folks. All right, these are the messages. That's the store. But it clearly shows that, yeah, it's traveling and you just have to wait. It's the same thing that happened with the Paul Skeens rookie that I sold. So the item was sold on February 27th, 2025. You see it right there, right? So we're going to get into the messages between myself and this individual. So As you know, yesterday I talked about myself being at the Department of Motor Vehicle to get my real ID. Well, guess what? There's the temporary driver's license that I would have to have inside my car. Even though my current driver's license is valid, I still have to carry this anyway, just in case, because you never know. But yes, there it is. That's my real ID. I was approved for it, so I don't lie. All right, just to establish context by what I discussed yesterday. So I got a message from this person early morning yesterday while I was standing online, and these are those messages. So this person messaged me at 4:06 a.m. I still have not received this item, and I sent a couple screen captures with what you just saw of this, so that I can show that it is in transit. It left my hands, right? And I responded by, it looks like it is still in transit. Give it some time to arrive, as this happens on occasion. And I was very cordial about it. And then I sent another screen capture. I understand it takes time, but it has been 2 weeks. That's not my fault, and that's not my problem. That's on the post office. You just got to wait. And again, as I said, it literally says, it gives you an estimated delivery time. This is it right here. March 22nd to Thursday, March 27th. It clearly shows that in black and white. Okay? To establish context. Right now, I am at the DMV waiting online. Please allow some time, as I had an issue that was like this on my YouTube channel, which is true. That's what this playlist is all about. And my post office playlists are all about when things like this happen, right? USPS is in disarray these days. I will look into it at my earliest convenience, which I have, because clearly, again, it shows the estimated delivery time right in the actual listing of the card. And I was not kidding with this individual. You literally see a little selfie of myself right there in front of the door at the DMV here in South Charlotte. And again, to establish context, I was not kidding. I don't mind doxing myself. Listen, it doesn't bother me at all. Again, I am an LLC and I am public. So there you go. There's my upgraded driver's license, my temporary certificate, so that's all legitimate. I told the truth. There you have it. And then I sent a link to the video I just uploaded yesterday, talking about the post office and the issues that they continue to have. That for us as sellers, it sucks. And people expect everything right now, yesterday, give me that. I guarantee this person's like 60 or 70 years old. And I'll explain why I believe that to be true. All right. So, or this must be a professional eBay flipper. So you see the link to my video I uploaded yesterday about the post office. And it clearly says, please watch my latest video concerning this issue. I've been pretty busy today, but I wanted to acknowledge this issue, which I did. Again, I got no reason to lie. So here was the response I woke up to this morning. How is watching your YouTube video going to get me the item I purchased? The item has not arrived and I would like a refund. So already this person is making unreasonable demands, and I sent a screen capture of this. So it's still in transit. That's the estimated delivery date by the post office and eBay. This is all automated. There's nothing I can do to change that. It's in transit, and that is clear. And I sent the screen capture of that right here, which you can see. And then I sent 1 or 2 other messages to this individual. And here's why this has me worried. I actually sent them a specific. So I responded with the entire screen capture with the usual eBay stuff, and this with the estimated delivery date. So it is showing delivery by March 27th. Patience. You are not the first customer that this has happened to. And then I even went as far as putting a PNG circle around the delivery date, so there is no mistake in the fact that this is the post office not me. You just have to wait. Fucking wait. I hate impatient people like this, that they wave a magic wand, or they're self-important, or whatever their shitty business model is that they use, that they want what they want right now. Well, guess what? You can't always get what you want. So when you actually dig through this person's feedbacks, and they have a lot of neutral feedbacks and several negative feedbacks, a lot of this that you see is, electronic stuff, or face masks, Linksys, tri-band mesh, Wi-Fi router, genuine OEM Craftsman. These all have neutrals. So these are all the neutral feedbacks that this person has on their account. And of course, this person didn't respond. The power supply is not original. It's at 19 volts at 0.6 amps, but you need a 12 volt 2 amp. The router works, but it is dangerous. So that sounds like, that's a Wi-Fi router. So you could see my fellow eBayers, my fellow eBay customers, because don't forget, I don't only collect, I also buy sports cards and other things too from eBay. This person got a lot of complaints, let's just say, but they're neutral, so they're neither positive or negative. It's just people voicing their concerns. This is how you criticize sellers if you're not really too enthusiastic about your purchase. But what I find interesting, we got some more right here. It's when we get to the negatives that really has made me raise, where this whole situation has raised red flags. And there we got even more neutrals. Okay? It's when you get to the negatives why this one message, with them actually demanding a refund that you just saw, which is right here, with them immediately demanding a refund when the card is in transit still, which we just proved. And again, forgive me here, because this all matters when it all comes full circle. So you can see their unreasonable demand, where they're demanding a refund for an item they haven't even received yet, because it's still in transit. It clearly shows it right there. They become very combative when they receive a negative. And all of this is from, 1, 2, 3 or 4 from the past 6 months. And there are 2 of them here that are from the past year. But the way that they respond is very combative in the feedbacks. Item quality is bad. Size is not correct. When asked for return option, seller said no. It's not his fault, but the manufacturer never come back and not recommended seller. Item was new in package, and sizes along with pictures were in a description. This case says new, but it looks used. The phone moves when it's inside the case. Seems to be, this is clearly an eBay reseller, a flipper, like a genuine flipper. Because when you actually go through their account, you'll see VHS tapes, jerseys, all sorts of stuff. So you can tell either this person goes to a flea market or buys like a whole bunch of used stuff and tries to sell them from Goodwill. I mean, that's where I believe this person is getting all these items from. Item was new and sealed and packaged. Buyer was upset because item was not shipped priority mail because they would not pay for priority shipping. So, I mean, this one didn't have clips. After purchasing, buyer asked question about the item. Buyer was told that was purchased, was in the pictures and description. So the person gets very combative and defensive almost immediately. And all of these items are used items. Allegedly, by the way, I have to say allegedly. Item was never received, shipped to wrong address, even though I contacted seller to correct the address. Seller refused to resolve the issue. And item was shipped to address that was on the PayPal account. When item was paid for and labeled purchased through eBay, buyer contacted after item said it was delivered and stated that I should have shipped it to different address. And, you can see immediately they get very, very defensive when it comes to, people's dissatisfaction. Now, as a seller, I know you can't make everybody happy. My goal, obviously, I care about your money. My feedbacks show that. My eBay sales show that. Don't forget, I've only been doing this since June of last year, and it's now March going into April. And that's less than a year. Imagine what I can accomplish in 2 years, 3 years, if I really, really, really start, hunkering down with all of this. But, I care enough to follow up with things like this because you don't know who you're dealing with on the other side. And clearly, to me, this must be an older person that goes around buying stuff at flea markets, at Goodwills, and places like that, in my opinion, allegedly. But this is definitely an older person, in my opinion, based on this language, because, usually older people are more stubborn and very demanding and commanding of people, and they have to have things their way. Oh, believe me, I know how it is because my parents are like that. And I'm sure a lot of older parents are like that too, where they just want things. Give me that, it's mine. That scissor. Forget the shaky cam. The scissor, it's mine, mine, give me that, I want that. And that's how some people are, unfortunately. And that goes for eBay as well. So I preemptively messaged eBay saying that this person's making unreasonable demands, already trying to demand a refund for an item that's still clearly in transit. Now, I am going to try later on today, if I have some time, to see if I can contact this post office and see where this envelope is. That's what happened, with the Paul Skeens yellow border rookie that I sold, which I talked about here on the channel. And it was just sitting there for whatever reason. And, thank God that the person in Staten Island, New York, actually got their order for me. So, win-win for all of us, especially for the little schmuck like me. I'm just small potatoes, you know what I mean? But, when things like this happen, you need to, especially if you're a seller, and I need to point this out to this person, you need a little decorum and you need to calm down and relax. This is clearly out of my hands. I said this before and I'll say it again. All right, unless your mail carrier is stealing mail or something like that, and you're already demanding a refund when it clearly shows that this is the estimated delivery date, you're wrong. Period. So I reported this person at eBay because of the language and because of this person demanding a refund for something that's still in transit. Case closed. So we're going to see what happens. I might follow up with this depending on where we end up. But clearly this person is very hostile if you leave them a negative feedback. I mean, listen, I've taken a couple negative feedbacks on the chin, which is why I have YouTube, because I contacted eBay with these two jackasses. And as most eBay sellers know, with eBay feedback extortion and people trying to demand refunds, and they, like the last asshole that tried to extort me for, what was it, a 2023 Topps Chrome Mitchell and Ness card. I believe it was a Bryce Harper. I'm like, okay, so show me proof. Show me receipts. The person didn't even bother to raise any concerns with eBay, which means they had the card in hand. They did get the card in kind, but they were trying to get it for free by extorting me by using a negative feedback system. So I'll take a negative. I said it once and I'll say it again. With things like this, should this person leave me a negative feedback, we know that they're basically, they're not having their way. So they're essentially throwing a temper tantrum. But I will cover my bases. Again, you could see my face. I wasn't kidding yesterday when I said I had to go to the DMV. There's my new driver's license, my temporary. Hopefully the new one will be here soon. So checkmate at this point. And yes, I have to be arrogant with things like this. We as sellers really need to protect ourselves from things like this. When people are making unreasonable demands and commands and then, threatening and, being combative and all that kind of stuff. If eBay won't do anything about it, at least I have my YouTube channel where I can voice my concerns and pass that on to my fellow eBay sellers, because this is ridiculous that they want a refund for something that is still on the way to their home. And the evidence is quite clear with that. So with all of that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Be careful if you're an eBay seller, especially in the sports card hobby or with anything. I've said this time and time again. I've had this happen to me throughout the years. I get tired of being taken advantage of, used, abused, thrown under the bus, stabbed in the back, and I've learned to finally say enough is enough. And when I see bullshit, I'm going to call it out here on YouTube. So just be careful, ladies and gentlemen, who it is you're dealing with. You have a lot of people out there that don't know how to speak. They don't know how to be diplomatic. They don't know how to calm down. It's like dealing, and I hate to pick on my mother. My mother is like this, where she is unreasonable. It's like talking to this camera stand. It won't budge. It won't move or anything like that. It's like talking to the carpet, the garbage can, the light post outside. Some people are just absolutely stubborn. They have no decorum, and they're not willing to sit down and talk. And I fucking hate people like that. I really do. When you're not reasonable and you're unwilling to listen, that makes you a coward, and it makes you a thug and a bully, in my opinion. Because you have to have things your way. And the world doesn't fucking revolve around you. The world doesn't revolve around me. The world's not going to stop just for little old me. And when it comes to people like this, it doesn't pass the smell test. So this definitely does not pass the smell test. Again, this person clearly has sold a lot of stuff here on eBay. Or I should say on there. They are a pretty decent sized eBayer, but the simple fact of the matter is that you can't just command and demand things. So I have a feeling what's pushing this eBayer is that they're going to take the card they bought off of me and probably flip it for more than what they bought it for off of me. I almost guarantee that's the scenario. Or they probably promised it to someone, or they probably listed the card someplace based off of my photos, and are trying to flip it before it even gets there. I know a lot of people do that with PSA and SGC if you have graded slabs. If you get photos, when you go into post grading and stuff like that, some people will actually take those photos and sell them while their cards are in transit in the mail to kind of like get a jump on things. But I suspect that this person is probably trying to flip one of my cards. So, and they're just being unreasonable and stubborn. So, again, I have to cover my bets, and I have to cover myself and protect myself from things like this. Just be a little diligent, be careful out there. Again, I reported that comment to eBay that this person's already demanding a refund, and clearly it shows that the card is still in transit. I don't control the post office. A lot of us who are sellers have to deal with this crap. And the post office right now is in complete shambles. It's in disarray with mail being stolen, checks being stolen, mail carriers throwing mail out, and opening up packages and all this crazy stuff. It happened right here at my local post office years ago, where they were dumping mail right in a dumpster right behind the post office, literally right there where I live, right there, in front of my apartment. You can walk maybe 3,000, 4,000 paces to the post office right there, and they were dumping mail into the dumpsters, and they got caught. Be careful who you're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be afraid to speak your mind, and if I have to come out and show this stuff, I will. Because again, I'm not a fool, and I'm not a sucker, and I'm not going to be suckered, especially when it comes to transactions like this. I've been very, very honest with my eBay customers. Many of you are repeat customers. Many of you are brand new to the channel and brand new to my eBay store, and I thank you so much for supporting myself and my business. But at the same time, you're going to find people like this that are out there that it's like talking to this coaster. You can plead your case. You can show them fingerprints, stool samples, hair samples, semen samples, any of that kind of stuff. You can show them photographs and videos, and you still can't convince them that this is a coaster. You know what I mean? That's how people are, unfortunately. It's disgusting. And in a lot of ways, I hate human behavior, and I really hate human nature, especially when it comes to stubbornness. Fucking stubbornness. Wait. Fucking wait. Wait for your card to come. Be patient. I guarantee this person's like 60 or 70 years old. Or they rely solely on eBay to make money, which I sympathize with. I'm somebody that was homeless for a year. I get what it's like not to have money. Believe me. Oh, you don't want that. You really don't want that to happen in your life. And I had to fight very hard for what I have, and I've had to learn to survive. So I don't know if this is, again, I don't know if they're trying to flip my card, or maybe this is something out of desperation, or they're just older folks who are very, very shrew. Well, guess what? You're dealing with someone of German descent. Oh, and if I want to be an ass, I can be an ass. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Again, I'm sorry to have to make another video like this, but I'm not going to tolerate, people trying to rip me off, trying to extort me, trying to hold me hostage. And if eBay won't do something about it, at least there's a record of it right here on YouTube. We're going to see what happens in the next couple days. Should the card not arrive at that point, we'll see what happens. But then again, the person can always make up a story and say, oh, they never got their card. It didn't come, which of course is bullshit. Has anything to do with the sports card hobby, you really got to keep, an eye out on this stuff. You all know that, and so do I. Take care. God bless. Stay safe. Enjoy your Wednesday. And sorry that we have another one of these videos, but I'm not going to just sit back and sit idly by while somebody tries to pull the wool over my eyes. Take care, everybody, and I will see you all very soon.